Long ago, in a remote forest monastery nestled in the hills of northern Thailand, there lived a monk named Ajahn Suryo. His name, meaning radiance of the sun, was given to him not at birth, but at his ordination, an ode to the light he would later bring to the lives of many. Before his monastic life, Suryo was a doctor, trained in modern medicine. He had healed others, yet had long ignored his own failing health, chronic fatigue, digestive issues, high blood pressure. Despite the pills and procedures, nothing seemed to truly restore him. One day, exhausted and disillusioned, he left his clinic, shaved his head, and entered the forest. There, beneath the canopy of whispering trees, he traded prescriptions for presence, diagnosis for Dharma. He rose before the sun, walked barefoot on dew-kissed earth, and sat in stillness with his breath. Months passed, and his body began to change, not with miracles, but with the quiet consistency of ancient wisdom. His skin glowed, his gait was light, and his ailments softened not through cure, but through deep embodied healing. When asked how he restored his health, he would smile and say, "I listen to the Buddha in the morning. Let me tell you this, the body has its own intelligence. It speaks, but we rarely listen. In the silence of dawn, it whispers the truths we've forgotten. And if we are wise, if we are humble, we learn to hear it again. Healing is not a distant miracle. It is a practice. It is presence. It is what you do each morning before the world awakens." Now I offer you 5 sacred habits, a gift from the Buddha and from those who walk his path. They are not rituals of superstition, but disciplines of awakening. Practice them not with force, but with reverence, for in them the body remembers how to heal itself. Let us begin with the first. Begin each morning in noble silence. Not the silence of absence, but the silence of presence. When you first open your eyes, before the mind floods in with names, duties, phones, and noise, remain still, remain quiet. Do not reach for the world. Reach inward. In the monastery, this was our sacred hour. No words were spoken before sunrise. No greetings, no pens, no idle chatter. We moved like the wind, gentle, mindful, and silent. Why? Because silence is the first medicine. It cools the fire of the mind. It allows the body to transition from sleep into wakefulness without shock, without burden. Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air." And the Buddha taught, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. But how can we speak peace if our mornings are filled with noise? In silence, you hear the breath. You feel the weight of your body lying in bed, the rhythm of your heart, the warmth of your palms. The present moment becomes vivid, like a lotus blooming in still water. You realize, I am alive. I am here. I do not need to run. This is not a silence of suppression, but of spaciousness. It invites the body to awaken naturally, without demand. The sympathetic nervous system, the engine of stress, remains at ease. Cortisol levels stay low. The heart rate is slow and soft. The body, free from urgency, begins its healing. And deeper still, silence prepares the mind for mindfulness. Before you are swept into the currents of thought, you drop anchor in awareness. You recognize, this is a new day, a precious human birth. I will walk this day as a path. In the Vinaya Pitaka, the Buddha instructed monks to guard their speech upon waking, to speak only when necessary, and only with kindness. This was not mere discipline, it was love. Love for the clarity of mind, the peace of the Sangha, and the integrity of practice. For the lay practitioner, silence may mean simply this: do not reach for your phone. Do not check messages, emails, headlines. Instead, check your breath, check your body, check the state of your mind. If you must speak, speak gently. Greet your loved ones with a smile, not a screen. Offer presence, not distraction. You may create a small ritual. Sit up in bed, place one hand on your chest, one on your belly, and take 3 deep breaths. Feel the breath rise and fall like the ocean tide. Let the silence fill you, not with emptiness, but with fullness. Over time, this practice becomes a refuge, a temple within. No matter where you are, in a monastery, a small apartment, or a crowded home, you carry silence like a lamp. It steadies you. It centers you. It begins to heal you. And the beauty is this: from silence, everything becomes clearer. The body speaks. The mind softens. The heart opens. And the world too begins to feel less hostile. Because you have started the day not in reaction, but in reverence. So I urge you, tomorrow morning when you awaken, do not rush, do not speak. Just sit, just breathe, just be. And let silence become your first act of healing. The second habit is to greet the sun with your body in motion. Long before gyms and treadmills, long before yoga studios and health apps, the body knew what it needed. Movement. Not forced, not frantic, but fluid, rhythmic, alive. In Buddhist tradition, the body is not seen as an obstacle to enlightenment, but as a sacred vessel. The Buddha himself emphasized its care. He walked daily, miles upon miles, barefoot, through forests and villages. Even after his enlightenment, he did not withdraw into idleness. He walked. He moved. He breathed with the earth. When we wake each morning, our blood is still. Our limbs are stiff. Our breath is shallow. This is not illness, it is the residue of sleep. The body asks, "Will you awaken with me?" If we are wise, we respond not with coffee or complaint, but with movement, conscious, gentle and full of breath. A slow walk around the home. A bow toward the east, where the sun is rising. Gentle stretching, 5 mindful prostrations before your meditation cushion. These are not exercises, they are offerings. Each movement becomes a mudra, a gesture of awakening. The Dhammapada says, health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, but health is not given. It is cultivated. It arises from harmony between the body, mind, and breath. And morning movement restores this harmony. In the monastery, after noble silence, we began walking meditation. Barefoot, heel to toe, heel to toe. Slowly, with eyes lowered and breath deep, the earth greeted us. Our feet became roots. Our thoughts softened, and even the aches of the body, stiff joints, tired knees, began to loosen. Not because we forced them, but because we honored them with movement. You see, motion is medicine. Not only for the muscles and bones, but for the organs, the heart, and the immune system. In the teachings of Sangyo Kenka, he spoke often of how the body, when met with awareness, becomes its own physician. Movement helps the blood flow, carries oxygen to stagnant places, clears the fog of sleep, and awakens the inner fire of vitality. But most of all, it reconnects you with your body, with this life, with the miracle of embodiment. Too often we treat our body as a machine to be fixed or a burden to be overcome. But what if instead we treated it as a temple? Not a temple of vanity, but a temple of practice. Each stretch, each step, each breath in motion, a prayer, a thank you. The elders of Okinawa, long studied for their longevity, begin their day with Rajyo Taiso, gentle calisthenics done in silence or with soft music. No strain, no competition, just flow, These elders do not sit for hours in meditation halls. They move, and they live past 90 with joy. Likewise, the Thai forest monks perform sweeping meditation each morning, broom in hand, sweeping the monastery paths, not as a chore but as a practice. With each sweep, the breath flows. With each motion, the heart becomes light. You do not need a teacher to begin. You do not need a class. Just rise. Let your body stretch toward the ceiling like a tree greeting the sun. Roll your shoulders, loosen your neck, touch your toes with reverence. Walk with mindfulness, even if only from your room to the kitchen. And as you move, breathe with awareness. With every inhale, feel life entering. With every exhale, feel the tension melting. Your breath becomes the bridge between mind and body. Your movement becomes meditation. When done with awareness, even simple movements, rolling out your mat, lifting your arms, taking 3 steps become sacred. The body smiles, the mind stills, the heart feels gratitude. And in this way, healing begins, not through external cure, but internal balance. Do not rush. This is not performance. This is pilgrimage. Each morning your body wakes up not only from sleep, but from forgetting. Movement, done mindfully, is remembrance. So tomorrow, before the rush of days sweeps you away, greet your body, move with love, bow to the sun, to the earth, to your breath. Let your body become a poem of motion. Let healing arise, not by force, but by flow. The third habit is to drink warm water with mindfulness and gratitude. It may sound simple, perhaps even mundane, but the Buddha taught us to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, and what could be more ordinary, more overlooked than a cup of water. Yet in that humble cup lies the secret to awakening, to healing, to being fully alive. When the Buddha woke beneath the Bodhi tree, legends say that the first act of kindness he received was from Sujata, a village girl who offered him a bowl of rice milk and water. That offering, given with reverence, helped restore his strength, not just his body, but his vow to teach the path to liberation. And from that moment, food and drink were never taken in haste or ignorance again. Every sip was a meditation, every swallow a prayer. In the morning, after you have honored silence and awakened the body, come to stillness once more. Sit. Pour yourself a cup of warm water, not too hot, not cold. Let it be pure, clear. You may add a slice of lemon, a few drops of honey, or a bit of ginger, but not out of habit, only with intention. As you hold the cup, pause. Feel the warmth through your fingers. Bring it close. Smell its subtle scent. Close your eyes. And then before drinking, take a breath and offer gratitude. Dear water, you may say silently, you who nourish the trees, who fall from the heavens, who fill the rivers, who run through my veins, thank you. Gratitude is a healing balm. It softens the heart. It shifts the nervous system from survival to serenity. And when you drink water with gratitude, your body receives it differently. Your cells open. Your organs smile. Your breath deepens. You are no longer just consuming, you are communing. According to both Ayurvedic and modern medical wisdom, drinking warm water first thing in the morning stimulates digestion, hydrates the organs, flushes toxins from the body, and awakens the metabolic fire. But beyond the physical benefits, this habit is a mirror. It reflects how you relate to nourishment, to your own needs. Do you drink with haste, standing in the kitchen distracted by headlines and emails? Or do you sit like a monk beneath the Bodhi tree, cradling the moment like something sacred? Thich Nhat Hanh wrote in Buddhism plain and simple, awareness is not something we do, it is what we are. Drinking water becomes a doorway to that awareness. You do not have to retreat to a monastery. You can turn your morning glass into a temple. Thich Nhat Hanh would teach, Drink your tea slowly and reverently, as if it is the axis on which the earth revolves. And so too with water. Each sip, each swallow is a return to this very moment. You become present, you become peace, and this presence ripples through the body. The heart slows, the stomach relaxes, the kidneys awaken, the colon prepares to release. Warm water received in stillness becomes a river of renewal flowing through you. In Buddhist cosmology, water is one of the great elements, Apo Dao Tu. It represents cohesion, flow, adaptability. When your inner water is honored, your emotions stabilize, your mind becomes fluid. You learn to bend, not break. And so, dear friend, let this be your daily ceremony. Wake with silence, move with awareness. And then, before anything else, drink your water as if it is medicine, because it is. If your body aches, offer it water. If your heart is tired, offer it water. If your mind is clouded, offer it water. But offer it not with the indifference of habit. Offer it with the love of a mother feeding her child. And as the water flows through you, let it carry away yesterday's burdens. Let it bathe your inner wounds. Let it say, you are cared for, you are enough. You are beginning again. This habit takes only 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes can shift the entire course of your day. They can remind you that healing is not in far-off places. It is in your kitchen, your breath, your hands, your intention. So tomorrow morning, as the light streams through your window and you rise from the stillness of sleep, offer your body this sacred act. Drink warm water with both hands, with deep gratitude, and let the healing begin anew. The fourth habit is to sit in stillness and observe the breath. After silence, movement and mindful nourishment, the body begins to remember its wholeness. But now we enter the sanctuary of the mind, not to control it, not to suppress it, but to watch it gently, lovingly, as the Buddha watched the rising and falling of his own breath beneath the Bodhi tree. Each morning, before the duties of life unfold, we return to this ancient practice, anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. It is the most accessible and yet the most profound doorway to liberation. No altar required, no incense, no chants. Just you, your breath, and the present moment. Sit comfortably, on a cushion, a chair, or the floor. Let the spine rise like a tree rooted in the earth. Let the shoulders relax. Let the hands rest in your lap. Gently close your eyes and begin to notice the breath, the inhale and the exhale. Not changing it, not shaping it, just noticing, just being, as if watching a friend return home after a long journey, as if witnessing a sacred reunion between awareness and the body. This breath is your oldest companion. It was with you in the womb. It will be with you at the moment of death. And yet, how often do we greet it with reverence? The Buddha taught, mindfulness of breathing, when developed and cultivated, is of great fruit and great benefit. Why? Because the breath is the bridge between body and mind, between past and future, between suffering and freedom. With each inhalation, you receive the gift of life. With each exhalation, you let go of what no longer serves. And as you stay, breath after breath, you begin to notice something remarkable. The mind quiets. The storm settles. The body softens. There may be thoughts, memories, emotions. Let them come. Let them go. Do not chase them. Do not fight them. Let the breath be your anchor, your refuge. In the heart of the Buddha's teaching, Thich Nhat Hanh writes, breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. This is not poetry, it is medicine. When the breath becomes conscious, the nervous system shifts. The body exits fight or flight. The immune system strengthens. The heart finds rhythm. Healing begins, not in hospitals, but in stillness. In the mornings, this practice is especially potent. The mind is fresh. The distractions have not yet arrived. Even 5 or 10 minutes of silent breathing can transform your entire nervous system, setting the tone for a day of clarity and compassion. You do not need to achieve anything. There is no test, no final goal. The very act of sitting, of breathing, of being, is enough. Each breath is a bell of mindfulness, calling you home. And in this home, the body heals. Not through magic, but through space, through rest, through peace. Modern science confirms what the sages have always known. Conscious breathing reduces inflammation, lowers blood pressure, balances hormones, and improves mental clarity. But beyond science is something deeper. The awakening of presence. When you sit with the breath, you touch the same ground the Buddha touched. You walk in his footsteps. You are no longer in the illusion of separation. You are in union with all life. Imagine beginning each morning this way. Before news, before noise, before obligations, just you, sitting like a mountain, breathing like the wind, anchored in now. The Dalai Lama, when asked his morning routine, said he meditates for hours before beginning the day. Not out of duty, but out of necessity. If I don't, he said, I can't serve others well. And neither can we. Because when we are grounded in breath, we respond instead of react. We listen instead of argue. We forgive instead of grasp. The body, when given silence and breath, becomes a vessel of peace. So tomorrow morning, after your silence, your movement, your warm water, sit. Just sit. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let the past dissolve. Let the future wait. Let this breath be your temple. And if you stay long enough, 5 minutes, 10, 20, you may discover something profound. You are not your thoughts. You are not your pain. You are not your wound. You are awareness itself, spacious, open, whole. And from this wholeness, healing arises, not from outside in, but from inside out. The body remembers peace. The mind tastes stillness. And the soul begins to sing. The fifth habit is to set a vow for compassion before you step into the world. It is said that every action begins first in the heart. Before the hands move, before the feet walk, before the words are spoken, the heart decides. It sets the course. And if the heart is rooted in wisdom and compassion, then everything that flows from it becomes a blessing. This is the final and most transformative morning habit, to plant your intention like a seed of light in the soil of your soul. The Buddha's teaching was not merely for the cushion or the monastery. It was for the marketplace, the family, the workplace, the street. He urged us to walk through the world as bodhisattvas, not saints beyond reach, but ordinary beings who choose, again and again, to respond with love. So after you have sat in stillness and felt your breath like waves against the shore, bring your awareness to the heart. Rest your hand there if you like. Feel it beating, not just as an organ, but as your compass. And ask yourself, how shall I live this day? Let this question be quiet, not an obligation, not a demand, but a doorway. And through it, let a vow arise, not one made of grand declarations, but one born of sincerity. Today, may I be kind. Today, may I not rush to judgment. Today, may I forgive someone, including myself. Today, may I remember that all beings, like me, wish to be happy. Today, may I not waste this precious life. This is not a mental exercise. It is the shaping of your entire nervous system. When the heart is aligned with compassion, The body moves with grace. The voice speaks with gentleness. The eyes soften. Even illness becomes more bearable when touched by loving intention. Bhikkhu Bodhi teaches that intention, cetana, is the seed of karma. It is the energy behind every word and deed. And when we set a pure intention each morning, we guide the river of karma toward liberation, not just for ourselves, but for all. Thich Nhat Hanh taught the use of gathas, short verses whispered at the start of the day. Waking up this morning, I smile. 24 brand new hours before me. I vow to live fully in each moment, and to look at all beings with the eyes of compassion. Simple, beautiful, transformative. Try this tomorrow. Before you speak to anyone, before you open your inbox, sit, breathe, and silently speak your vow. Let it come from your heart. Let it shape your energy. Let it be the thread that weaves through all your actions. And if you forget, if you lose your temper, or feel anxious, or fall into habit, return to your vow. Midday, evening, any time. It is always waiting for you. Over time, this habit transforms not only your day, but your destiny. Because intention is the root of character. And character is the path. In Buddhist psychology, we speak of citta, the heart-mind. When it is clear, all becomes clear. When it is clouded, even the brightest morning feels dim. But a vow, renewed each day, is like wiping the mirror. You remember who you are, and you remember who others are too, not enemies, not obstacles, but fellow travelers in suffering and joy. When you begin the day with compassion, your immune system strengthens, your stress response lowers, your brain becomes more coherent, but more than that, your spirit begins to shine. You smile more, you listen more, you become medicine for others. The old monks say, you don't need to know all the sutras, just live one teaching well. Let that teaching be compassion. Let it be your breath, your food, your gaze, your vow. And let this vow begin each morning. When the world is quiet, when the heart is soft, when the veil between the sacred and the mundane is thin. So tomorrow, before the tasks call you, before the noise arrives, place your hand on your heart and whisper, may I walk gently, may I speak truthfully, may I love well. And then, step into the world, not to escape suffering, but to meet it with eyes that have seen the sunrise of your own soul. Not to fix everyone, but to bring presence where there was none. Not to be perfect, but to be real. This is the healing the world longs for, and it begins with your morning vow. This is how the body heals, not through potions or pills, but through through breath, through water, through movement, through stillness, through love. And when these are practiced each morning, they become your way, your path, your offering. Let each sunrise remind you, healing is here, within you, around you, waiting only for your gentle attention. May you walk your mornings like the Buddha walked the earth, with quiet steps, open hands, and a radiant heart. And may your body, in its sacred wisdom, remember how to heal. Namaste.